Nkeal Harry has been officially traded to the Chicago Bears for a 2024 seventh round pick. Pretty much the lowest value you can get for anything in the entire world. I really don't know like if you can even trade anything worse than that. Like how far out can you trade like a 2029 draft pick? I don't really know. But that's basically the worst thing you can get for a player, and I'm not really surprised either. Nkeal Harry was drafted with the first round pick in 2017. I think it was 2017, right? No, 2019. Yeah, 2019 draft. We saw him picked with the 32nd pick in the first round. His career stats are a whopping 43 receptions for 397 yards and 4 touchdowns over 20 regular season games over the past 3 seasons. Not very impressive whatsoever. Pretty bad, actually. He's 6'4", 225 pounds. He's still 24 years old, so I guess he was like 21 when we drafted him. All the potential in the world, and it's one of the worst draft picks that the Patriots have ever had, and that seems to always happen when they draft wide receivers, at least in the first 2 rounds or whatever. Now, what we're going to do today, this is pretty sad. I hate doing this, but we're going to talk about all the wide receivers taken after Nkeal Harry and how their careers have gone. You're going to be surprised. I was actually surprised it was this many. I knew a couple, but I didn't know it was this many that actually had much better careers so far. So first off, Deebo Samuel's taken with the 36th overall pick, so just a few picks later. Could have totally had him, though. Obviously a great wide receiver at this point. A.J. Brown, could have had him as well. He was taken in the second round with the 51st overall pick, so quite a bit later. We probably could have had him twice, matter of fact. Mccool Hardman, I think that's how you say his first name, was taken with the 56th overall pick, just a few picks after A.J. Brown. Speedster wide receiver has been a really fun player for the Chiefs. Probably not the best person on this list. That sounds like a little bit of a personal attack there. Probably not the best player on this list, but still way better than Nkeal Harry. Obviously, he'd go for a little bit better than a 2024 seventh round pick. DK Metcalf with the 64th overall pick in the second round. Also another player that absolutely would be much better than Nkeal Harry. Deontay Johnson, I don't know how good he's ended up being. I just know he was taken after him in the third round with the 66th pick. He was, as of this article I'm reading is from 2020, he had already 1,500 yards with 12 touchdowns, so quite a bit better than Nkeal Harry, obviously. Then Terry McLaurin from the Washington football team, or I guess the Washington Warriors or whatever they're going to be called now. He was picked in the third round with the 76th overall pick, and he's obviously become actually one of the top tier wide receivers. I'd say like at least like a top 15 wide receiver in the NFL, if not top 10 maybe. I don't really know where he's at, but I know he is pretty good for the most part and still very young. So another player that I'd much rather have, Hunter Renfro, a player that was definitely better than Nkeal Harry as of 2020. He was taken in the fifth round with the 149th overall pick. He already had 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns. So by 2020, he already had better stats than Nkeal Harry has at this point in his career in 2022. Darius Slayton with the Giants was taken in the fifth round with the 171st overall pick. And again, in 2020, he already had 1,400 yards and 11 touchdowns. So another player that was already doing much, much better than Nkeal Harry to that point, than Nkeal Harry is even doing now. So, yeah, I don't want to really, put salt in the wound, but it is absolutely worse than you probably even imagined. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Wasted pick. Could have been literally any of these guys. Or we could have just gotten one of these guys later on, but obviously, everybody can say that, right? Like, everybody would take Hunter Renfro in the, fourth and fifth round now that they know, but in the first round, we could have had any of these talented players. When you draft in the first round, you expect a good player. You at least expect a solid starter, and we did not receive that. We did not receive that at all. It makes me nervous for any future first-round picks that are wide receivers, but hey, one of them's going to work out eventually, right? Anyway, be sure to like the video, leave a comment down below with your opinions, and subscribe for the best Patriots content on YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next video.